Hey, it's Damien, and welcome back to the Abundance Frequency. Well, it's Sunday, and it's time for a full guided session, so I am so glad you're here. Now, obviously following on from this week's theme, we're going to be going through a session for emotional exhaustion, but before we get into that, you'll probably have already noticed something very different about today's episode. From here on in, Sunday episodes will be audio only. No slides, no notes, no looking at anything. And that's a deliberate choice. Because we are working through the body, and these are full somatic sessions, the body doesn't need a screen, and that becomes a distraction. All you need is somewhere to be still, or in this case, somewhere that you can move a little. Now that's got your curiosity going. So if you are driving, now will be a good time to park up. And if you're at your desk, push back from it just a moment. We're going somewhere the eyes aren't needed. Now if you listened on Wednesday, you'll know that we spent some time understanding exactly what emotional exhaustion is and why it's so easy to miss. How it disguises itself as a coping mechanism, how we normalize it, and how the mind keeps revising the threshold until we've been running on empty so long that we can't even remember when it started. So today we're not going to talk about it. Today we're actually going to do something about it. This is a full somatic practice, which means it works through the body, not around it. And I want to say this up front. What I'm going to invite you to do today might feel a little unusual if you haven't done it before. You might even feel a little silly at first. If I'm honest, I did when I first did it, but that's completely fine. Stay with it, because what happens when you do tends to surprise people. And it did me. I have to say, the first time I did this process, I was pretty shocked. The practice only runs about 10 to 15 minutes. It won't take long. You'll want to do it somewhere where you can move around a little. Not much, just a little. Standing is actually ideal for this one. Sitting is fine. Lying down won't work so well. So when you're ready, just take a moment and find your space. And let's begin. Wherever you are, take a moment to feel your feet on the floor. Not think about them, just feel them. The weight of your body moving down through your legs, into your feet, into the ground beneath you. And just take a natural breath. And as you breathe out, let it be a little longer. Just like you're settling down deeper within yourself. And just take a moment to notice now how you feel. Not to judge, not to fix, just to acknowledge, to register. Maybe already there's some tiredness, maybe some tension, maybe an emotional flatness. Whatever is there, just let it be. No labels, no analysis. You don't have to do anything with it. We've just started to listen. Now, before we move into the practice, I want to tell you something that will help you understand what's going to happen. The nervous system has a natural mechanism for completing stress cycles. Animals in the wild use it all the time. After a moment of tension passes, they literally shake. You've probably seen it. A dog after a fright, a deer after a near miss. The shaking isn't actually distress, it's completion. is the body releasing the activation that got stored during the stress. And we have the same capacity. We've just been taught to override it, to stay still, to hold it together. And we can often see it when somebody is very anxious or when there is an intense emotion and they begin to shake. It's at those times when the emotion is so intense, the stress is so intense, that the shaking actually overrides the thinking. So what happens in normal situations, instead of completing the stress cycle, the activation actually gets stored, layer after layer of it. And that layering, that accumulated, unreleased charge, is a significant part of what emotional exhaustion actually is at a physiological level. So what we're going to do today is give your body permission to release some of that, gently, safely, and on your terms. So, let's begin by bringing a little aliveness into the legs, because that's where we're going to start the discharge. Just bend your knees slightly, just a soft bend, nothing dramatic. Feet hip width apart if you're standing. Let your weight settle a little lower. Now, begin to gently bounce. Small, easy bounces. Heels barely leaving the floor, or not at all. Just enough to create a gentle rhythm. Like you're very softly bouncing to music only you can hear. Good. As you do this, let your arms be loose. Let your hands dangle. Don't hold anything. Don't organize anything. Just let the body move without you managing it. Notice your jaw. If it's tight, and it probably is, let it soften. Let your mouth open just a little. There's no need to look composed right now. Keep the bounce going and begin to let it travel up through your body, through your hips, your belly, your chest. Let it be just a little disorganized. That's right. You're not performing a movement, you're allowing one. Now, let the bouncing slow, and instead of controlling the movement, I want you to let the legs begin to tremble. If that sounds strange, here's how to find it. Slightly increase the bend in your knees. Let the muscles in your thighs begin to work a little harder. And then, rather than holding them steady, just let them wobble. Let them do what they want to do when you stop bracing. And if the shaking starts, that's wonderful. Just let it come. It might start small. It might feel like just a quiver, but that's enough. You don't need to amplify it or perform it. The body knows what to do when you get out of the way. If it doesn't come easily, that's fine too. Some bodies take time to trust this. Stay with a soft wobble in the legs and continue breathing. Let the breath out be audible, a gentle sigh, a soft release. You can even make a sound if it wants to come. There's no wrong way of doing this. As the shaking or trembling continues, I want you to stay curious rather than alarmed. This isn't a loss of control, it's the opposite. It's the body regulating itself. You're not falling apart, you're coming back together. Notice where you feel it most, the legs often, sometimes the hips, sometimes it moves into the belly or the chest. Wherever it goes, follow it with your attention. Breathe into it. And as you do, you might notice something else beginning to move. An emotion maybe, a heaviness wanting to lift, a tightness wanting to release. Whatever it is welcome. You don't have to identify it or name it, just let it move. Begin to let the shaking soften now, not by bracing or stopping abruptly, just by letting it naturally wind down. The way a wave dissipates as it reaches the shore. Let your movement slow, let your body become still, but a different kind of still than when we started, not held still, just settled still. And go ahead and take a breath, and this time notice if it feels any difference, any more space around it, any less effort. Stand or sit quietly for a moment. Let yourself be in whatever has shifted. Slowly, bring your attention back to the surroundings. Notice the room you're in, the light, the temperature of the air. Feel your feet again. That same point we started from. But notice if they feel any different now. More present perhaps, more planted. Bring one hand to your chest and just rest it there. Take one more breath and let this breath be an acknowledgement of your body, of what it just did, of what it's been holding, perhaps for some time. There's nothing you need to do with this experience right now. You don't need to analyze it or translate it into action. You've done something real. Let that be enough. You know, emotional exhaustion doesn't resolve in a single practice. I want to be honest with you about that. But what this practice does, what somatic discharge does, is begin to create a movement when there has been stagnation. The movement is how things change. Your nervous system just got a message that it's safe to release, that it doesn't have to keep holding things so tightly. That's not a small thing, that is fact, exactly where the shift begins. And if you felt something move today, even something small, I'd like to hear about it. And if nothing happened this time, come back to it. These practices deepen with repetition. The body learns to trust the invitation more each time you extend it. And if today opens something for you, and you'd like to go a little further, I've created a 3-day audio reset. And this is a program that's available. You just have to follow the link in this show's descriptions. These are 3 short sessions, body-based, designed for people exactly like you who are ready to start listening differently. No pressure is there when you are ready. Thank you for spending this time with yourself today. That's what this is ultimately, not listening to a podcast, spending time with yourself, with your actual experience in your actual body. And I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. But until then, take care of yourself. Not as a phrase, not as something, just words, but as an actual, genuine invitation.